Not all sports cars are sleek and sexy. Some are just weird. From wedge-shaped spaceships to bubble domes, from doorless racers to sideways seats, these 8 sports cars will leave you asking, what were they thinking? They were fast, wild, and totally out of this world. Get ready, because these are the 8 weirdest sports cars you won't believe ever hit the road. Number 8, 1955 BMW Isetta. From bubble car to drag strip monster. 1955 BMW Isetta 250. The BMW Isetta was a post-war European microcar famous for its egg shape and single front opening door. Designed initially by Italian company ISO, BMW licensed and re-engineered it in Germany starting in 1955. Engine, 247 cubic centimeter single-cylinder, 4-stroke BMW motorcycle engine horsepower. 12 horsepower at 5,800 revolutions per minute. Top speed, 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour. Transmission, 4-speed manual, unsynchronized drive, rear-wheel drive via chain. Weight, 770 pounds, 350 kilograms. Length, 90 inches, 2.29 meters. Fuel economy, up to 60 miles per gallon. Notable feature, entire front of the car opens as a single door. Designed for economy and minimal urban footprint, the Isetta was never meant to be fast, until hot rodders got creative. Modded dragster conversion. The wild side of Isetta. Turning an Isetta into a dragster is an extreme form of automotive irony, from 12 horsepower to over 1,000 plus horsepower in a body the size of a fridge. These are not street cars. They're drag racing monsters built purely for shows, exhibition runs, or bracket racing. Engine swap options: small block V8s, Chevy 350, LS1, Ford 302. Motorcycle engines: Hayabusa, Kawasaki ZX14. Turbocharged inline 4s, Honda K-Series, Ecotec. Electric powertrains, custom builds. Full tube frame chassis, original frame discarded. Custom fabricated firewall and floor pan rear-wheel drive. Often 4-link or ladder bar. 9-inch Ford or GM 10-bolt rear ends. Wheelie bars, drag slicks, and parachutes. 3-speed TH400 or Powerglide transmissions. Roll cage, NHRA spec for fast classes. Racing harnesses, fuel cell, fire system, Lexan windows, fiberglass or aluminum body panels. Horsepower, 300 to 1,200 plus horsepower. Weight, approximately 1,600 to 2,200 pounds, depending on build 0 to 60 miles per hour. Sub 3 seconds 1/4 mile. As fast as 8 to 10 seconds, depending on engine. What a drag! The world's most famous Isetta dragster owner, builder, Bruce Weiner, USA, nicknamed What a Drag. Build year, approximately 2006. Bruce Weiner, a microcar collector and former bubble car museum owner, had a 1959 BMW Isetta turned into one of the most outrageous custom drag builds ever created. Engine, 502 cubic inch big block Chevy V8 supercharger, 671 roots blower power output, approximately 730 horsepower on pump gas chassis, custom tube frame with wheelie bar, transmission, GM TH400 3-speed automatic rear tires, massive drag slicks, exhaust, side exit, zoomy headers. The Isetta's body was stretched, widened, and essentially became a shell on top of an all-out drag platform. The front opening door was retained, hilariously small compared to the 502 engine. Ran low 10s on the 1/4 mile in exhibition passes, could pull massive wheelies, requiring a long wheelie bar. More of a showpiece than a competitive drag car, but 100% functional. Featured on Top Gear, Jay Leno's Garage, and countless car shows. Went viral online for the absurd visual. a dragster inside an Isetta skin, sold at auction in 2013 for $92,000 drag. Isetta, a conversation starter, not a daily driver. Extreme contrast between cute form and raw power. Eye-catching centerpiece for car shows. Lightweight, short wheelbase. Why hilarious acceleration, pure custom expression and engineering challenge. Highly unstable at speed. Wheelbase is under 60 inches. Visibility and weight balance issues requires expert-level fabrication and NHRA safety compliance. Not street legal. In most cases, building an Isetta dragster is expensive and labor-intensive. Base Isetta body, rusty, $8,000 to $15,000. Donor chassis, engine fab work, $20,000 to $50,000 plus. Total build cost, custom $40,000 to $100,000 depending on detail level. Highly unique and limited, the few that exist often become show legends or social media icons. Feature original Isetta, 1955, modded dragster version, engine, 247 cubic centimeter single-cylinder V8 or turbo 4-cylinder, motorcycle. Horsepower, 12 horsepower, 300 to 1,200 plus horsepower. Top speed, 50 miles per hour, 130 to 160 plus miles per hour. Drag strip. Transmission, 4-speed manual, TH400 or Power Glide, 0 to 60 miles per hour, approximately 30 seconds. Under 3 seconds. Quarter mile, NA 8 to 10 seconds. Number 7. 1973 Ferrari 512 S Modulo, the space age Ferrari. Ferrari 512 S chassis number 27. Concept car one-off prototype, Pininfarina, Italy, based on Ferrari 512 S Group 5 race car 1970 1970 Geneva Motor Show. Labeled a 1973 car in later design iterations. Engine, original spec. Type, 5.0-liter V12, naturally aspirated displacement, 4,993 cubic centimeters, 4,993 cubic millimeters. Configuration, 1260-degree DOHC V12. Power output, 550 horsepower at approximately 8,500 RPM estimated torque, approximately 450 Newton-meters, 332 pound-feet. Transmission, 5-speed manual. Layout, rear mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. Top speed, estimated over 220 miles per hour, 354 kilometers per hour, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour. Approximately 3.1 seconds. Theoretical. In its original 1970 Pininfarina debut, the engine and drivetrain were largely non-functional. It was converted into a real running car decades later. The Modulo began life as Ferrari 512S chassis number 027, originally built for racing in the World Sports Car Championship. After its racing life ended, Pininfarina acquired the chassis and reimagined it as a futuristic design study. Paolo Martin, working under Sergio Pininfarina aesthetics and exterior. Body style, Berlinetta coupe, canopy top design, doors. No conventional doors, access via forward sliding canopy height. Only 37 inches, 935 millimeters. Tall. Width, 86.6 inches. Extremely wide, wheels hidden behind massive fender fairings. Unique feature, 24 holes in the rear engine, cover for cooling and style. The Modulo looked like a UFO, complete with a wedge shape, no visible wheels, and an all-glass canopy. It was a radical vision of the future, not a product Ferrari ever intended to produce. Running version by James Glickenhaus, 2014 to present. In 2014, American filmmaker and Ferrari collector James Glickenhaus, owner of Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus, purchased the Modulo from Pininfarina and undertook a massive project. Restored it, installed a working V12 and 5-speed transmission, made the car fully drivable. After decades as a static concept, the Modulo finally moved under its own power. It has since made appearances at Villa d'Este Pebble Beach, concours, featured on YouTube, Instagram, and at events like the Quail Feature Detail. Canopy roof, entire glass top slides forward for entry. Covered wheels, front and rear wheels shrouded for aesthetics. Color scheme, gloss white with matte black lower body. Interior, minimalistic, futuristic, red seats, bespoke dash lighting slim, hidden pop-up headlights, aerodynamics low drag, sharp wedge, more visual than functional. It was meant to inspire, not race, but still had the soul of a Ferrari 512S race car underneath. The 512S Modulo is often cited alongside Lancia Stratos Zero, 1970, Bertone Carrabbo, 1968, Lamborghini Marzal, 1967. These were space-age wedges, provocative concept cars that helped define what the 1970s imagined the 2000 would look like. The Modulo stands out even in this company for its extreme proportions, jet-like canopy, immaculate, spaceship aesthetic design award winner at multiple concours events, frequently voted one of the most beautiful concept cars ever made, displayed at Pininfarina's Design Museum and multiple global auto shows. At one point, Ferrari refused to acknowledge the Modulo as part of its official design heritage, since it was a Pininfarina creation using a retired chassis. This changed over time as Modulo gained cult status, and Ferrari embraced its role in concept car history. Spec detail: Model Ferrari 512S Modulo. Base car Ferrari 512S chassis number 27, engine 5.0, liter V12, 550 horsepower. Top speed estimated 220 plus miles per hour. Designer Paolo Martin, Pininfarina. Year debuted 1970. Static restored in 2014. Entry sliding glass canopy. Total built, one current owner. James Glickenhaus status. Fully operational, exhibition use. Number 6 1990 BMW Z1. Experimental roadster with sliding doors. Manufacturer BMW AG, Germany. Produced 1989 to 1991. Model year in focus 1990. Total units built 8,000. All LHD market, primarily Europe. Not officially sold in the U.S. Inline 6. BMW M20B25. Displacement 2,494 cubic centimeters power. Output 168 horsepower at 5,800 revolutions per minute. Torque 222 Newton meters, 164 pound-feet at 4,300 revolutions per minute. Transmission 5-speed manual, Getrag, drivetrain, rear-wheel drive, RWD, 0 to 100 km per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour, approximately 7.9 seconds, top speed 140 miles per hour, 225 km per hour. Weight approximately 1,250 kilograms, 2,755 pounds. Chassis code E30-based platform, modified. The Z1 was developed by BMW Technik GmbH, a subsidiary established in 1985 as a skunkworks innovation lab. The Z1 wasn't just a car, it was a concept in motion. Sliding doors slid down into the sills instead of opening outward. Could be driven with doors lowered. A roadster experience taken to extremes. Thermoplastic body panels. All exterior panels were made of GE Xenoi thermoplastic. Panels were removable and replaceable in hours. The car could be entirely repainted or restyled with ease. Flat underbody and aerodynamics. Flat-bottomed car with smooth airflow, rare for the time. Rear diffuser-like element aided stability. Multi-tube steel monocoque with composite floors. High rigidity frame with plastic composite floors. Body panels were non-structural. Front and rear suspension. Front, modified McPherson struts from E33 series. Rear, all-new multi-link Z-axle, precursor to BMW's later designs. Designer, Harm Lagaay, later worked at Porsche. Body style, two-door roadster dimensions. Length, 3,921 millimeters. Width, 1,690 millimeters. Height, 1,277 millimeters wheelbase. 2,445 millimeters. Fun fact, only 4 standard colors: red, green, black, gray, with many customs. BMW offered body panel swaps for color changes, very ahead of its time. Minimalist and futuristic integrated leather seats with body-colored door inserts, exposed screw heads, and technical surfaces. Tech chic. Though it shared some parts with the E3325i, the Z1 had a custom floor pan suspension exhaust routing body structure. It was not merely a reskinned 3 Series, it was 70% unique. The Z1 was the first Z car in BMW's line, Z for Zukunft, or future in German, laying the groundwork for Z3, 1996, Z8, 1999, Z4, 2002 present, never meant to be mass-produced, served as a limited series design exercise, became a collector's item almost instantly. The Z1 was rumored to have a waiting list over a year long, with buyers fascinated by the sliding doors. Some owners drove with the doors lowered to turn heads, legal in Germany, but highly unconventional. Aspect detail. Total built 8,000, all LHD current value, 2024. 60,000 to 100,000 USD, condition-based. Most valuable colors. Rare custom or factory. Green-blue tones, rarity high. Never imported officially to US in 1990. BMW Z1 feature specification engine, 2.5-liter i6, BMW M20. Power 168 horsepower transmission, 5-speed manual drivetrain, rear-wheel drive, 0 to 60 miles per hour, approximately 7.9 seconds. Top speed approximately 140 miles per hour, 225 kilometers per hour. Body panels. Removable thermoplastic doors. Vertically sliding, electric manual units. Built 8,000 production years, 1989 to 1991.
Number 5, 1966, Peele Trident. The saloon scooter. Manufacturer, Peele Engineering Company. Location, Isle of Man, UK production years, 1965 to 1966. Total units, produced approximately 45 to 50, some estimates say up to 82 including prototypes. Feature detail, type microcar, bubble car, body style 2-door saloon, canopy coupe. Seats, 2, 1 adult plus 1 child or small adult. Weight approximately 200 pounds, 90 kilograms. Length, 72 inches, 1,829 millimeters. Width, 39 inches, 991 millimeters. Height, 54 inches, 1,372 millimeters. Wheels, 3, single wheel in rear. Doors, 1, entire bubble canopy lifts up. Spec detail engine DKW or Enzani 2-stroke. 49 cubic centimeters horsepower, approximately 4.2 horsepower top speed. 28 miles per hour, 45 kilometers per hour. Transmission 3-speed manual, drive rear-wheel drive, via single rear wheel. Fuel economy up to 100 miles per gallon, UK. The Trident was slow, noisy, and a bit ridiculous by modern standards, but it was street legal in the UK, and it didn't require a full driver's license in some jurisdictions. Nicknamed the saloon scooter, the Trident looked like a cross between a Jetsons bubble car, a carnival ride pod, a 60s science fiction movie prop, clear dome canopy made from acrylic, giving full visibility. Optional electric fan for defogging. Molded fiberglass body. No reverse gear. Drivers had to get out and push or spin it by hand. 2 seats, side by side, but cramped. Minimal dashboard, speedometer, ignition, and not much else. No cargo space to speak of, just enough for a handbag or coat. In one promotional ad, Peele claimed the Trident could be parked at the end of your bed. It was genuinely small enough to fit indoors and could be brought inside for security, like a bicycle. The Peele Trident became internet famous through BBC's Top Gear when Jeremy Clarkson drove a Peele P50 through the BBC offices. The Trident has appeared in microcar shows and museums worldwide, and it is a darling of collectors due to its rarity and absurdity. Replicas and EV conversions have surfaced in the 2000s to 2020s. Factor detail. Surviving units, fewer than 30 original Tridents value today, 2024. 80,000 to 120,000 USD, condition-based, rarity. Extremely rare. Fewer than the Peele P50 status collectible icon, often museum-bound, 1966. Peele Trident feature specification engine, 49cc 2-stroke. Anzani or DKW. Power. 4.2 horsepower, top speed 28 miles per hour, 45 kilometers per hour. Weight approximately 200 pounds, 90 kilograms. Drive rear-wheel drive, single rear wheel. Transmission 3-speed manual. Doors canopy style, single dome seats. 2 tightly fitted, fuel economy 100 miles per gallon. UK units built approximately 50, some sources say 82. The Trident was so light that owners could pick up the front and pivot it to park in tiny gaps or even turn it around at home. The entire vehicle was lighter than a modern electric scooter battery pack.
Number 4. The 1970 Lancia Stratos Zero is one of the most radical and iconic concept cars ever designed. A wedge-shaped marvel that looks more like a sci-fi spacecraft than a car. Created as a design study by Italian styling house Bertone, the Stratos Zero wasn't just visually groundbreaking. It marked the beginning of one of rally racing's most legendary stories. Specification. Detail manufacturer Lancia, concept by Bertone. Designer Marcello Gandini, at Bertone. Debut 1970. Turin Motor Show type concept car platform. Modified Lancia Fulvia HF chassis. Layout mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, RWD. Engine 1.6-liter V4, Lancia Fulvia engine. Power approximately 115 horsepower, top speed approximately 100 to 110 miles per hour, 160 to 175 kilometers per hour, estimated. The Stratos Zero wasn't built for practicality or performance. It was a rolling sculpture designed to shock, inspire, and provoke. Its wedge shape became an enduring design trope of the 1970s and influenced everything from Lamborghini to Lotus. Height, just 33 inches, 840 millimeters, shorter than most car wheels. Body shape, extreme wedge, tapering to a blade-like front. Entry, front hinged windshield/canopy, no side doors. Wheels, deeply recessed, almost hidden in the bodywork. Lights, integrated into the body. Early use of hidden and flush lighting. Color, burnt copper seen orange metallic with matte black details. The body was built from hand-hammered steel, not fiberglass, despite its exotic appearance. Though radical on the surface, the car's chassis and engine were borrowed from the more conventional Lancia Fulvia HF. Chassis, modified to fit the ultra-low body engine. Lancia's 1.6-liter narrow-angle V4 mounted mid-rear suspension and drivetrain from the Fulvia, adapted to a low stance. The performance was modest, but that wasn't the point. It was a visual revolution. Access through the front windshield, lifting upward. Spartan, minimalistic, cockpit-style layout. Integrated seats molded into the structure. Futuristic orange-lit gauges. Driver visibility was narrow, horizontal, like a jet fighter canopy, precursor to the rally-dominating Lancia Stratos HF. The Stratos Zero was the spark that led to the creation of the Lancia Stratos HF rally car, 1973, which would go on to dominate World Rally Championship, WRC champion. In 1974, 1975, and 1976. First rally car built from scratch for rallying. The name Stratos was carried over from the concept, but the production rally car shared almost nothing mechanically with the Zero. Designer Marcello Gandini had earlier penned the Lamborghini Miura and would later create the Countach. The Stratos Zero was his most extreme concept, showing just how far form could be pushed over function. Appeared in the 1988 Michael Jackson movie, Moonwalker featured in numerous design books, automotive museums, and exhibits, has appeared at Villa d'Est and Pebble Beach. Concours d'Elegance. Feature detail units built 1, only prototype, current owner private collector, formerly Bertone Museum. Estimated value, over $2 million USD as of 2000s, condition restored, running occasionally displayed Lancia Stratos Zero feature. Specification, designer Marcello Gandini, Bertone, debut year, 1970, engine 1.6-liter V4. Lancia Fulvia HF, power, approximately 115 horsepower, height, 33 inches, 840 millimeters. Entry front hinged canopy drive, rear-wheel drive, mid-engine production, 1 prototype. Legacy, inspired the legendary Lancia Stratos HF. The idea was not to design a car, it was to challenge the future. The Stratos Zero was pure emotion, not logic. Number 3. The 1986 Dome Zero is one of the most fascinating, obscure, and otherworldly concept cars to come out of Japan. A bold attempt to break into the world of supercars from a company that specialized in racing. Born out of ambition and wrapped in radical 1970s wedge styling, the Dome Zero has become a cult favorite and a symbol of what could have been in Japanese automotive history. Feature detail manufacturer, Dome Company Limited, Japan. Designer Minoru Hayashi prototype. Debut 1978, Geneva Motor Show, Dome Zero, intended production model, Dome Zero P2, 1986, type concept, prototype sports car. Total units built, approximately 3 prototypes plus 1 or 2 P2s. Note, though the original Zero was unveiled in 1978, the Dome Zero P2 was the refined road legal variant meant for global production by 1986. Specification, detail engine 2.8-liter inline-6, Nissan L28 power, approximately 140 horsepower. In Zero up to 180 plus horsepower. Planned for P2. Transmission, 5-speed manual drivetrain, rear-wheel drive, RWD. Top speed, approximately 135 to 150 miles per hour. Estimated, 0 to 60 miles per hour, approximately 7 seconds. Estimated weight, 920 kilograms, 2,028 pounds. The car was built on a steel space frame and used Nissan-sourced parts for practicality and cost control. Dome aimed to use reliable mechanicals in an exotic shell. The Dome Zero looked like it drove straight out of a 1980s anime or cyberpunk comic book. Sharp wedge profile with aggressive angularity, hidden pop-up headlights, extremely low height and wide stance, deep-set wheel arches with fender extensions, scissor-style doors, Lamborghini-style full-glass rear canopy over engine bay. Designer Minoru Hayashi, also the company founder, wanted to break free from the conservative look of Japanese cars. He was heavily influenced by European wedge icons like the Lancia Stratos Zero and Ferrari Modulo, but gave it a uniquely Japanese twist. Despite its show-stopping debut in Geneva, 1978, and the more refined Zero P2 concept developed into the mid-1980s, The car never received homologation from the Japanese government for road use. Japan's strict vehicle certification laws were too expensive and complex for a small company. Dome lacked the resources to satisfy safety, emissions, and crash test regulations. Investors pulled back as costs grew. Instead, Dome pivoted its attention back to motorsport, including Le Mans prototypes. Dome, which means child's dream in Japanese, was primarily a racing outfit. They built competitive Formula 3 and Le Mans prototypes from the 1980s onward. The Dome Zero was their only road car, but it showed their engineering and aesthetic vision. While few people have seen a Dome Zero in real life, its image lives on in games and media. Featured in Gran Turismo video games. Cited as an influence in anime mecha and car design, including Initial D and Akira-style aesthetics. One of the most collectible and revered lost supercars of the 20th century. Feature detail, surviving units, till tray, including P to variant, estimated value, over $500,000 if sold today. Ownership, NEI Japan, NA Europa, Museum. 1 privately held public appearances, rare showings in Japan, Pebble Beach, etc. The refined vision. The P2, shown in red with a smoother design, was the road-going version developed in the 1980s, meant to pass US and European homologation. Changes included softer styling edges, new bumpers, and lights for safety compliance. Improved interior with leather and modern controls. However, it was stillborn due to financial limits and regulatory challenges. 1986 Dome 0/0 P2. Attribute specification engine 2.8-liter Nissan I6L28 power output (1 40 to 180 horsepower weight (920 kilograms). Top speed 135 to 150 miles per hour. Doors scissor style layout. Mid-engine RWD units built approximately 3 total prototypes 0 plus P2. Status rare, collectible, concept only. The name Dome comes from the Japanese phrase children's dream, reflecting the founder's belief that such a car should be as bold and wild as a kid's imagination. The Dome Zero was that dream, never fully realized but never forgotten. Number 2. Here's a detailed profile of the 1974 Bricklin SV1, one of the most unusual and ambitious sports cars of the 1970s. A product of bold vision, government funding, and a deep belief in safety-focused design, the SV1 remains a cult classic with a fascinating and complex backstory. Attribute details. Manufacturer, Bricklin Vehicle Corporation, founder Malcolm Bricklin, USA. Production years, 1974 to 1976 assembly location, St. John and Minto, New Brunswick, Canada. Total 1974 production approx. 2,854 units. Total built, all years, 2,887 to 2,900, confirmed units. Vehicle class 2-door sports coupe. Name, meaning SV-1, equals Safety Vehicle 1. Attribute, details. Engine, 5.9-liter. AMC, 360 cubic inches. V8 power, approximately 220 horsepower. SAE. Gross torque, approximately 315 pound-feet. Transmission, 3-speed automatic Chrysler. Torque flight, a 727. Layout front engine rear-wheel drive, RWD. Chassis, steel perimeter frame with integral roll cage, body acrylic resin over fiberglass panels, no paint. Brakes, front discs, rear drums 0 to 60 miles per hour, approximately 8.4 seconds, claimed. Top speed, approximately 118 miles per hour, 190 kilometers per hour. Curb weight, approximately 3,500 pounds, 1,590 kilograms. Fuel economy, 12 to 14 miles per gallon. Gull-wing doors, hydraulically operated, often problematic. Wedge-style body with long nose and high rear fenders. No bumpers, impact-absorbing body was integrated into design available in bright safety colors. Safety orange, safety white, safety green, safety suntan, safety red, acrylic over fiberglass body. Colored panels molded in, no painting, pop-up headlights, integrated steel roll cage, high visibility color scheme, 5 mph crash. Compliance front and rear, reinforced side impact protection. No ashtray or cigarette lighter. Promoting a healthy lifestyle. Gullwing doors opened outward and upward for easier escape. In theory, we are building a car that will protect its occupants in a crash instead of disintegrating. Shared parts with other manufacturers for cost efficiency. Nissan, Chrysler, AMC 365/8, chosen for its torque and simplicity. Suspension and drivetrain borrowed heavily from American OEMs. Prototype and pre-production cars suffered from panel fit and hydraulic reliability issues. Gullwing doors often failed due to weak hydraulic systems. Acrylic panels cracked or delaminated under UV and stress electrical gremlins and inconsistent assembly standards. Early cars prone to leaks and body flexing. A government-funded dream turned sour. The Bricklin project was largely funded by the Canadian province of New Brunswick, hoping to spark a new automotive industry in the region. However, production delays, technical issues, and mismanagement led to ballooning costs. By 1975, each car cost more to build than it sold for. The provincial government lost over 20 million Canadian dollars, causing political backlash. The company declared bankruptcy in 1976, just 3 years after launch. The trapped in the car incident. Because the hydraulic gullwing doors relied on engine power, or battery, many owners found themselves literally trapped inside when the car lost electrical or hydraulic pressure. One widely reported incident involved a man in New Jersey who had to break the rear window with a tire iron to escape in the summer heat after both doors failed. Appears in Forza Horizon, Gran Turismo, and Jay Leno's Garage, regularly featured in Weird Cars of the 70s lists. Now appreciated for its bold vision and rarity. A few examples restored to Concours condition. Condition, price range, USD, mint, restored, $35,000 to $50,000. Good driver, $20,000 to $30,000. Project Searn needs work, $8,000 to $15,000. SV1 values remain affordable due to limited mainstream appeal, but values are rising with increasing interest in 1970s oddballs. Attribute specification: engine 5.9-liter, AMC V8, transmission 3-speed automatic power, approximately 220 horsepower doors, gullwing hydraulic body material, acrylic over fiberglass safety, focus roll cage, impact resistance, no smoking gear, units built. 1974, approximately 2,854. Total production: Chia 2,900, production end. 1976, company defunct. Number 1. The 1975 Matra Bagira is one of the quirkiest and most innovative sports cars to come out of France in the 1970s. Built by Matra Automobiles in collaboration with Simca, part of Chrysler Europe at the time, the Bagira was a sleek mid-engine hatchback that offered an unusual feature for a sports coupe: 3 abreast seating across the front row. It was bold, affordable, and quintessentially French. 975 Matra Bagira, the 3-seat French wedge. Attribute details. Manufacturer: Matra. Mécanique Aviation Traction, produced 1973 to 1980, collaborator Simca, then part of Chrysler Europe. Assembly: Romorantin Lanthenay. France designers: Antonis Villanis, body, Jean Toprieux, chassis. Name: Origin: named after the Black Panther Bagira from the Jungle Book. Attribute, value engine, 1.3-liter, Simca, inline 4, 1294 cubic centimeters. Power output, approximately 84 horsepower, DIN. Torque, approximately 75 pound-feet. Top speed, approximately 110 miles per hour, 175 kilometers per hour. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour. Approximately 12 seconds. Transmission 4-speed manual, some 5-speed in later years. Drive type rear-wheel drive, RWD, layout. Mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, curb weight, approximately 2,000 pounds, 900 kilograms. 3 abreast seating. The Bagira's most distinctive design element was 3 front seats in a single row, a rarity for a sports car. This allowed room for a driver and 2 passengers without a rear bench, designed to be practical and sporty for small families or couples with a child. Wedge-shaped fiberglass body mounted on a steel chassis. Pop-up headlights, manual. Fastback design with a large rear hatch and good cargo space. Designed by Antonis Villanis, later famous for the Renault Espace and TGV train interiors. Approximately 0.33, very low for the era. Engine sourced from the Simca 110 Ti. Despite its mid-engine layout, the Bagira was relatively simple to maintain. Suspension was independent at all 4 wheels, good handling, soft ride. Rust-prone steel chassis underneath the fiberglass body. Cooling system challenges in hot climates due to mid-engine placement. Limited power compared to rivals like the Alfa Romeo GTV or Porsche 914. No power steering, power brakes, or AC in early models. Bagira's missed U.S. opportunity. Matra had ambitions to export the Bagira to the U.S. and even created federalized prototypes with larger bumpers and emissions equipment. However, the 3-seat configuration failed to meet American safety standards, specifically regarding seatbelt anchors and crash survivability for the center seat, and Matra dropped U.S. plans entirely. Instead, the Bagira remained a Euro-only oddity, though a few gray imports eventually made their way to private U.S. collectors. Car power, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Top speed Matra Bagira, 1.384 horsepower, approximately 12 seconds, approximately 110 miles per hour. Porsche 914.1780 horsepower, approximately 13 seconds, approximately 106 miles per hour. Fiat X, 1975 horsepower, approximately 13.5 seconds, approximately 105 miles per hour. Condition, estimated price, USD, mint restored, $20,000 to $30,000. Good driver, $12,000 to $18,000. Project needs work. $5,000 to $10,000 Bagira S and later Courage Edition models are the most collectible. Surviving examples are rare due to rust and lack of spares. The Bagira was voted Style Auto Car of the Year in 1973, beating out the Ferrari Dino 308 GT4. A planned V6-powered prototype, the Bagira U8, featured 2 inline 4s bolted together, but it was never produced. Matra followed up the Bagira with the Murena, 1980 to 1983, a better-built, more powerful evolution with the same 3-seat layout.